Can you imagine a place where the heat is so intense that flesh and bones melt, or the cold so bitter that it stifles the soul? This is not a horror movie, but the Buddhist hell, a concept that can be quite terrifying for anyone unfamiliar with Buddha's teachings. Before you run off, we need to better understand what these hells are and what they mean within Buddhism. First off, disregard the idea of an eternal hell with a bighorn devil torturing sinful souls. The Buddhist view is quite distinct. To begin with, hells are not everlasting places of punishment, but rather temporary stages of torment, a direct reflection of the negative actions we have done during our lives. Sort of like that saying, you reap what you sow. The Buddhist law of cause and effect is called karma, which is applied to everything, from small everyday choices to the big decisions we make. But where does this karma lead us? The rebirth cycle, known as samsara, is like a cosmic roundabout, in which, after death, we are reborn in a new body, in a new realm of existence based on our karma. This is where the hells come in. Rather than a single hell, Buddhism outlines 16 hell realms, divided into two categories, 8 hot hells and 8 cold hells. As the name implies, the hot hells are scorching hot realms, with undreamt of tortures for every type of sin, whereas the cold hells are freezing cold places, where the dwellers face isolation, hunger, and immobility. The time spent in one hell depends on the gravity of the negative karma accrued, but it is always temporary. After paying the karmic debt, the being is reborn in a different realm, which can be hell again: the animal realm, the hungry ghost realm, the human realm, the demigod realm, or even one of the heavenly realms. But the ultimate goal is to reach nirvana, a state of liberation from the suffering and rebirth cycle, where true peace and happiness are achieved. But what are these hells exactly? The Buddhist scriptures describe them as being found in the depths of the earth, beneath the human realm. Think of a layered universe, with the heavenly realms at the top, the human realm in the middle, and the hellish ones in the deepest parts. This vision, while frightening, does remind us of the importance of our actions and the impact they have not only on our current lives, but also on the future ones. We start with the 8 hot hells, realms where the flames of negativity turn suffering into a visceral experience. Each hell is a given name, has its own features, and meticulously crafted sanctions for sins committed in life. The universe seems to have a flawless justice system, where every negative action brings about an equivalent reaction. When they die, most beings who have amassed negative karma are born in Samjiva, the first of the hot hells. This is a burning hot place where flames gnaw at the flesh and suffering is constant. Like a giant furnace where the inhabitants are crushed, cut, burned, and endlessly tortured by ruthless demons. Samjiva is just the beginning, a foretaste of what awaits those who descend into hell. This abyss is a required passage for those who have committed murder, theft, adultery, and other grave deeds. If you have distorted the truth, spread lies and slander in your life, your fate would be Kalasutra, the Black Lion's hell. Just imagine being tied to glowing pillars while demons trace black lines on your body with hot coals. Each line stands for a lie, a cruel word, an evil gossip, and the punishment, to be cut along these marks with red-hot saws. The physical pain here is magnified by the anguish of having your own wickedness engraved in living flesh. Did you stir up dissension and plant the seeds of division between people? Then brace yourself for the hell of Samghata, the crushing. A valley surrounded by colossal mountains collides with the clash, grinding the inhabitants into a bloody mass. The cycle repeats itself with no end, no escape, a reflection of the chaos and destruction you have caused in the world. The torture in Raurava, the hell of screams, is a searing symphony of pain and despair. People who have been cruel to animals, delighted in violence, and found pleasure in other people's sufferings are perforated by flaming spears, roasted on spits, and boiled in boiling oil cauldrons. The air is dense with the smell of burning flesh and the agonizing sound of screams, a continual reminder of the cruelty inflicted on others. Maharaurava is even worse, a heightened version of Raurava, with even more brutal torture and soul-piercing shrieks of agony. It serves as a punitive site for acts of extreme violence, mass murder, and systematic cruelty. Tapana, heat, is a relentless fiery realm. Hate, anger, and revenge manifest themselves in all-consuming flames. The inhabitants burn in giant furnaces, are reduced to ashes, and are revived to experience the very same tormenting cycle. This is a sort of hellfire purification, whose heat reflects the intensity of negative emotions such as intense hatred, unbridled rage, and the desire for revenge. The temperature in Pratapana, great heat, is so intense that even bones crumble. This is a place of unimaginable torture, where the inhabitants are flayed alive, torn apart by ferocious beasts, and plagued by energy-hungry demons. The punishment for those who have ignored the truth, blasphemed the sacred, and persecuted those who seek the light. Finally, we reach Avichi, the deepest and most terrifying of the hot hells, a dark place of unending suffering, where the tortures are so heinous that they defy human understanding. This is the fate of those who have committed Buddhism's 5 deadly sins, violent and evil actions so dreadful that they stain the soul forever, such as murdering one's father, killing another's mother, slaying a holy man, harming a Buddha follower, or causing a split in the Buddhist community. Punishment in these hells is measured in kalpas, time units equivalent to millions of human years. But time here is relative, twisted by the degree of suffering. For instance, one day in Avichi may seem like an eternity to those squirming in agony. Once the sentence is over, the cycle begins again. The being is reborn into a new realm, according to their karma, along a journey that can take them back to the hells or to other realms of existence. However, the hells are not only a physical sight in the depths of the earth. They can also be construed as metaphors for the negative mental states we have created through our actions, thoughts, and words. The burning anger that devours us, the jealousy that imprisons us, the hatred that envenomates us. All these painful mental states are, in essence, infernos that we have created for ourselves. Therefore, suffering within these hells is not just an external punishment, but an internal experience, a reflection of our own imbalance. With Buddhism, we are not forever trapped in the hellish cycle of suffering. It provides us with a way of liberation through the Dharma, Buddha's teachings. As we cultivate compassion, wisdom, and ethics, we can purify our karma, soothe our mind, and transform our negative states of mind. Meditation helps us to observe our thoughts and emotions clearly, without relating to them. Compassion allows us to connect with the suffering of others, developing empathy and kindness. Finally, wisdom allows us to grasp the impermanent nature of all things, releasing us from attachment and delusion. Thus, liberating ourselves from the hells is not a question of escaping from a physical place, but of changing our mind and heart. This is a step-by-step journey of self-knowledge, compassion, and practical action, leading us to nirvana, liberation from the suffering, and rebirth cycle. We dealt with the 8 hot hells today. If you want to know about the 8 cold hells too, please like and comment to support the continuity of this project. See you in the next video.